What is going on there, everyone, and welcome back to the video from Dracon. As you can see, today we're chilling out because today we're going to be talking, like in the video set or in the title, are miniatures prices becoming a problem? An excellent question. Now, as you can see, I did also upgrade my microphone with a lovely new HyperX microphone. It is beautiful. I love the red LED. It's one of my favorite colors. Got my big dragon here joining me and some premium minis. We'll talk, but let's get into it. So, obviously, if you're a fan of my channel, if you're new, welcome. If you're a regular subscriber, welcome back. Now, you know you must love the hobby of D&D, miniatures, or tabletop gaming in general. And that might be the problem nowadays. As we know, with the kind of the pandemic putting a lot of people stuck inside, we did see an increase in tabletop gaming from its normal level, I'd say good nerd culture, and now becoming very mainstreamish. And a lot of people do reviews, they do battle reports for tabletop games like Warhammer or things like that. D&D gets a lot of streams. Heck, my group, we do a podcast for the Dice and Dummies. Little shameless plug, check us out, guys. We are on season 2. We are supposed to get more videos out. But, man, it makes you wonder, where is the price going? Now, a fellow YouTuber brought this up, and I watched this in one of his videos. This was from Blanco. So if you guys haven't seen his video, check his out to hear his opinion on it. I do think that the hobby is getting expensive. And I'm not sure, but I do think that, now I'm not ripping on the process, but 3D printing could be part of it. Now, don't get me wrong. 3D printing is awesome in the idea that you just get a file, you slice it out, you alter it to make it bigger, smaller, whatever size you want. Like, you could literally turn them so small they can be pencil toppers. So, I mean, like, you can do a lot of cool stuff with them. And I think that is partially what's making the rise in prices. Now, let's go over some minis here. So, as you can see, we got some minis in front of me. We also have some minis here at my side for me to grab. Like, for instance, like Carnifex from Warhammer. One of the few miniatures I have that are official GW. I think my Tyranids so far, all my Tyranids are official Games Workshop. Space Marines, on the other hand, pretty much same thing. Even my, the one actual tank I have for them. Or, what is it? Troop transport, whatever the heck you call these things. I have like one character from Reaper Bones that isn't because it's a proxy. I'm using him as like the commander of it. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Sorry. Give Drake a little credit. My dragon brain, around for so many years, you start kind of getting off topic. But, so this one here is, for instance, from Paizo / WizKids, because we know that Paizo and WizKids work together to make their own line. Pathfinder. This is the Locust Lord from the Wrath of Righteous set. Now, this back then wasn't too hard to find. Nowadays, this is getting harder to find, but the price on this bad boy has gone up. So I even looked at this today just to see if I could find it on like eBay or anything like that. Yeah, good luck. I didn't see any of them on there. But, it is from WizKids. It's just the NECA Paizo equivalency, because now you have Paizos and NECAs into this, and which NECA is a great company. They make a lot of cool, like, figures, like Godzillas and stuff like that, which are my wheelhouse things I like, and other stuff. Now, this guy is well detailed. Amazing. And what I paid for him, I bought him on eBay. Oh, man. Can I think back that many years? Oh, okay. I remember now. I paid $45 for him. With the shipping being free and all that, got him within actually like 3 days. Not too bad. He came a couple states down, so I mean, based on that, it's not too bad. We're looking at a pretty good deal there. But then, was he worth the price? I haven't used him in a game yet, only because I haven't had a chance to bring a giant, high-leveled Demon Lord bug yet into the game. Though in our new game for the Dice and Dummies, we are in hell, so if my sibling requires this to throw at our party, to throw at us in the party and all that, I am totally fine with doing that. This thing is terrifying and horrifying. But moving past this giant insectoid of death, we then get to miniatures like Orcus, who is coming more in, like, I'd say, early-ish in this sort of rise in price. Orcus here costs usually around like $79.99 MSRP, apparently. Now this, I didn't buy him. I got him as a gift from my bros, and I did do a review on all these miniatures and stuff you see here. Except the Warhammer. I don't really do reviews on the Warhammer stuff, but, I've done a review on Orcus, the dragon, all this kind of stuff. If you want to see them, go to my older videos for that. I just want to throw that out there now, so in case you were interested. because you might be saying, open up Orcus, let's take a look. I already have. I just keep him in the box for like just display purposing because he just looks so nice and pretty. Plus, good luck getting him because they're very low in stock. Every time I see it, their stock numbers are very low, so that's also a pain in the butt. But it's $79.99 for a premium. I used to remember in the days when like I'd buy premiums, they'd be $59.99. That's a reasonable price, $60. Now it's jumped up to $80, and I'm rounding, of course, up the dollar value from the 99 cents to the full dollar. And I'm like, but we didn't change that much. Like, and like, it's not every set gets this level of love. And it's weird. Because now they're coming out with the Yanogu Mini, which I really want. But I'll be probably honest, I'm probably just going to 3D print my own big Yanogu and call it a day. Because no one tells Dracon no one tells a Dragonoid what to do. Anyway. So, obviously, and the quality looks great. I mean, don't get me wrong, Orcus here looks amazingly great. The Paizo Mini looked great for its like year oldage. I don't remember what year it came out in because I didn't really go into the Pathfinder line of miniatures first. I went more in D&D because I play D&D. I don't play Pathfinder, but their minis work great across the board for each other. And I mean, not all premiums had to be superbly expensive. I mean, here, for instance, one that I recently got done painting. He is on my Twitter channel. If you guys want to check out the Raycon Twitter, this is Mumlak, the terrifying Elephantine-esque Titan that I got done. And this guy came unpainted, no base, but really nice and very easy to assemble. I mean, all I had to do is put his tusks in, which, easy as heck. The mold lines are good on. In the end, $25.99. Like, so we'll raise up $26. And like I said, without tax and stuff, but that's pretty impressive. For $26, we got this mini here who can, as you can see, can compete with Orcus in size. Like, these two could throw hands and fight it out. So, what the heck? Now, we know Games Workshop is always improving their prices, and by improving, I mean they're always raising prices. They are always just sailing up. As we know, they don't care about us. They only want their whales who keep coming back and just buying anything they throw out there. And I guess I got to give credit to them because they're that dedicated, because I know I'm not to Warhammer. GW doesn't get all my money. They actually don't get any of my money. Now I think about it, I've never bought anything from GW. Everything I bought is either from a second-hand person or... Nope, wait. Yeah, pretty much second-hand. Tank, Space Marines, my Carnifex, Tormagons were a box set someone had and they just didn't have time to deal with. Even the Trigon that I have, which I might as well grab him since he's sitting here. Trigon, you know. There you go, just to make sure you can see it a little better. I'm not going to put him up close to the camera because, you know, the camera's a little bit far away. But, you know, it's just like, I looked at prices of minis. I've been doing this lately. I like to go on, like, say, Amazon, and I use Amazon, Miniature Market. Miniature Market is a great site to still buy your minis because they'll do a lot of deals. But, like, you know, Amazon's a great place to check what the average value currently in the market is, like what they're selling for now. And my goodness, like a set of, what was it, 4 Hive Guards I saw was $69.99. I was like, why is that more expensive than a premium pre-painted miniature from what Games Workshop or from Wizards of the Coast? I was like, what in the... I look at the value and I sit here and go, man, this is making the hobby so expensive. Is this good or bad? Obviously, it's going to be problematic to get new people to join in when they look at that value and they just go, I'll just use tokens or I'll buy the pre-cuts, even though they're $20 for the pack of, like, which those are even going up. Even I've seen the 2D style minis are going up. Sorry, I had to get that piece of fuzz off there. It was bothering me. But it's funny. And I go, Wizards, what are you doing? You got to talk to WizKids and kind of get this kind of locked down to a reasonable value. Don't get me wrong. I love how the miniatures go up in value over time because, you know, eventually they stop making Orcus. They stop making this beautiful Chungus that is the literally prize of my collection. I would literally fight someone for this thing. Like, if a robber stole all my minis, and this is the one I would grab first. Like, this is the one I would recover first. Like, it's the precious. I don't know why I ripped off Lord of the Rings for that. Gotta be careful. I think Warhammer has the rights to that too. Oh, yay. But, is what it is. Now, I don't know what this guy cost original MSRP, but you can get these guys right here for around I want to vary it because it is going up. The last time I looked at one after I had purchased mine and I was good, or one of these ancient dragons, you're really spending around like $120 is like the starting price. Sometimes 80 if you get lucky, and the seller is just trying to get rid of it more than they are trying to make money. Now, I was glad when I contacted a seller with an offer and I showed interest in the seller, gave me me specifically a special offer. And I was like, I like didn't undercut him or nothing because the value he was selling it for was amazing. But, you know, this is like an amazing quality mini. Would I ever repaint him? Absolutely not. I don't want to repaint him because he's just so beautiful the way he is. Am I sad I never got his fire accessory with it? Not at all. I don't care. Fire's cool, but it just shows off this guy's amazing mark. Plus, if I really want to, I can always craft my own fire. It's not hard to make a fire effect. Or you can just buy like an action figure fire effect and stick it in his mouth. No one's going to know the difference. Because actually, I'd actually use those fire pieces I had that go around minis. I'd set them around his base to just make it look like he exuberates fire. Anyway, getting off topic. Sorry, off topic. But there's always more options nowadays. We always can buy like the unpainted minis. Those are kind of staying like kind of normal price. Thank goodness. And now we're seeing Critical Role versions, which why those are $10 even for a set of 2 medium class minis. I don't know if it's because they have to make more money to pay Critical Role, or I'm not really sure how that works. Maybe because they have to split the profits because of properties. I don't know what's going on there. I got to be honest. I have no clue. I didn't look into it that much. Maybe I should have, but that requires way too much research. That's what I'm going to do. I'll be honest, past where I'm willing to go. But miniatures like this in the past were great. This right now is great. The prices where they've just become exuberant and just bursting through the roof because everyone wants to copy that Games Workshop model now. Everyone's just saying luxury. Tabletop gaming is a luxury. And I'm like, camera's hidden somewhere? Because I'm like, I don't consider a luxury. I mean, yes, you don't have to do it, but it's so enjoyable. Because like I said, painting minis, and that's why, like, for instance, I still love going and getting the old stuff, like, for instance, Wrath of Ashardalon, the board game. I love getting the board games because you get a crap load of miniatures. You get some nice tiles, too, that you can use to make dungeons. If you don't want to build them out of 3D tiles, you can just set down these, and they'll have, like, little trap stuff and stuff on them, like detail. You know, and, like, something like that. I think, what did I spend on Wrath of Ashardalon? I spent, like, $59.99. In the end, I got Ashardalon the dragon himself, a huge size class dragon, a bunch of other monsters and stuff like that, and that was cheap. Yes, I had to prime them. Yes, I had to paint them. But so what? I'm getting a crap load of stuff. Nowadays, they're just making you pay for, like, I don't know, better plastic. I mean, the plastic to me doesn't feel much different than other minis before WizKids started just jacking prices. And I mean, other companies in general are following suit, but there are still some. And I think this is what it's causing, though. The rise of the 3D printers and the rise of the third-party sellers. So is this exactly a bad thing? Not in the sense of creativity is now really blooming. We're seeing tons of people like on Etsy and stuff like that selling models or files for not expensive prices, and then you can have as many of you want if you want to file, or buy as many as you want from the seller, and they'll print them out and sell them to you and send them to you and all that. And I mean, with the fact too that if you have a 3D printer, which I recently have acquired mine after a birthday gift, which is awesome, now you can just like go to something like, say, Thingiverse, where people put tons of their own models out there just for the community to use. Obviously, yes, don't be a jerk and get the file and sell hundreds of them, because that's not cool to the original seller. Unless you make a deal with them, then I guess it's fine. But, man, prices, though. I remember when getting into D&D, you had to buy a book, you bought a set of dice, bought a 7 set of dice, maybe a couple, so you had a couple extra dice in case you had to roll multiple D10s and stuff. But nowadays, like when my group did it, it was a lot cheaper. We maybe bought a battle map at the time. We bought one of the small ones. It was like $25. And we've gotten multiple bigger battle maps now because, you know, why not? They're definitely better for like building large encounters and such like that. It's just like, I look at like, you know, because someone made this joke to me. He ever asked, he goes, what is your miniature haul worth? I go, well, that varies depending on the value of like where all this is going. Are we just going to start breaking through the roof that every WizKids miniature you buy is going to be like an investment and a half? I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I loved how I had Orcus. I mean, I love buying miniatures. Like, I am really looking forward to trying to get my hands on a brick of Fizban's, what is it, Guided Dragons, or was it the Treasury, just Treasury Dragons? Well, the Treasury, oh yes, Fizban's Treasury of Dragons set. I want to at least get a brick of them because, man, they look pretty cool. And I mean, I like the fact they're just coming out with a bunch of dragons, and like there's a bunch of huge dragons. I think the premiums, I've seen them. What was it? I know I'm giving away stuff in case you didn't know what they are, but I think it's the Brain Stealer Dragon. And then the other one was a, oh man, what was it? Dang it. It was in my brain. I literally saw it like a while ago and I just can't remember. But I mean, like, we're getting so many premium minis that are just coming out. They don't always have to be part of a set, which is nice. I mean, with Snowbound being one of the last sets I think I reviewed on the channel. Yes, I think Snowbound was one of the last sets I reviewed. Yes, it was. You had the Big Mammoth and the Giant being the premium kind of set where you have two minis or you put them on top and make him a mammoth with a giant rider. Which I was like, that's cool. The pricing on it, it's $69.99 to $79.99. I've seen it go both price ranges. It's not too bad for the amount of size. I mean, you're getting a Gargantuan class Mammoth and a huge class Giant to kind of slap together. And I know it's technically probably on a huge, they're like Gargantuan basically huge circle, but I always just throw it as Gargantuan because it makes it more impressive and more of a, oh snap moment when your party goes, oh, we got to fight that thing? Like, they look at you and go, DM you out of your mind. It's just funny. Oh, man. I got to admit, I got to follow like suit with what Blanco said there. It is getting expensive. And honestly, nowadays, you are better off just saving money, maybe skipping a set or two of like the WizKids or the Games Workshop stuff. I mean, Games Workshop definitely skipped some sets. And buy yourself a 3D printer, get some proxies, and just call it a day. If you're not playing tournament, where like they literally say only officially licensed product. Because you know you can't go into a Games Workshop store with you know, anything 3D printed other than I think Terrain is the only thing they'll allow. But anything like, you know, that's just a ripoff of GW in their mind. So tanks or characters, you know, minis in general. I don't even think they allow, I think they started even saying like they're outlawing like the whole additional sprue piece. Like if you make your own shoulder plate because you printed it, it's not allowed. But yet they still allow like when you make stuff out of green stuff, it still works. Cause it's like I can just make a mold and green stuff in. That's really peculiar. But I digress. I think I've gone on long enough. Yep, I have gone long enough to hit the definitely over 10 minute mark. But I gotta say, yes. So Blanco's right. Prices are getting a little bit ridiculous. I think it's because the miniature hobbyists are letting companies kind of go off and say, hey, we noticed they're now being called luxury items. You know what that means. Raise them prices because they're going to buy. They will buy. And it's the joke of like, you know, the whole thing of, what was it? The whole like, if you build it, they will come type joke. In this case, if you make it, someone will buy it. Games Workshop is an example of that. No matter how stupid of a price they throw on anything they make, those loyal whales who they are hoping for to come buy it, they always show up and they buy it all. Or you get people nowadays who are going, let me buy all these and then scalp and sell them online because that's what I want to do. Man, it's just a definite change from like the original time when I got into the hobby. It's definitely changing. Am I willing to move on with the changes? Yes, because those changes are giving you a lot of options. And I hope to see this get more under control from the company. I'm hoping Wizards and WizKids kind of smartfully catch what they're doing, kind of go back and go like, let's try to rein back. Because I'm hoping they're going to figure out it's better to make the whole like $20 a day, you know, or $20 multiple times a day constantly than the whole, let's make that $100, you know, let's make like $1,000 for one day of a month and, you know, be happy with that. Cause you know, I can't remember exactly how that thing goes. I'm scaling it differently, of course, but it's like the idea I'd rather make $1 a person a day than make the $20 each day guaranteed. Because like, you know, that's great. You made $20, but if you get multiple dollars and there's more people that you can get, like, you're cutting off the price. Like, you're getting rid of the people who buy it also. It's, I know I'm kind of just, well, I am really just kind of, I'm just muttering, but you know, it is what it is. I do think prices are getting ridiculous, but hopefully, like I said, smart companies like Wizards of the Coast and WizKids, they're going to kind of catch this, kind of pull back on it a bit, I hope, because I'll be disappointed. But there are other up-and-comers that are trying to jump into those roles of saying, hey, we got minis. They aren't on the same plastic type, but they're good. I mean, Reaper Bones has always been a competitor, and they've done nothing but increase their plastic price and maybe increase price fairly for this deeper Bones black plastic being the difference, but they're upgrading and making it worth it. WizKids, they are upgrading their sculpting, but they're just jumping way too high through the hoop. Like, they're making the hoops so high that you have to take a rocket to jump through them. And it's like, yeah, I don't want to have to keep rocket jumping to keep getting into the hoop every time it goes up every single time. Well, that's all I got for this little ranting video, I guess. A little bit of a notice in the hobby itself. But that's all I got for you today, guys. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And do make sure you go to the subscribe to the actual bell notifications. Hit it for all so you're not missing out as much. Make sure you leave a comment. Doesn't even need to be about anything. You can just throw out like, oh, that was cool, or haha, funny. Or if you have any ideas or comments or concerns, throw them in the comments. Help boost it so the YouTube algorithm will share it with more people, and more people can kind of, you know, join the dialogue and all that good stuff. And yes, at some point I will start a Discord. I have not done it yet by this video for sure, but I will get to it. I know. Man, I am like listing of stuff I got to catch up on. Yay, the joys. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Have a great one and see you next time. Bye-bye.